Life's algorithm is changing and you have a really big role to play in it. Now, I'm inspired to make this episode because you always hear about the algorithm, right? This algorithm that you have to appease, and if you don't do it right, then it's not going to like you and it's going to chew you out and it's going to spit you out. And it's in the context of the internet. But do you know that you as a person also have an algorithm? And of course, you're not a machine, you're not AI, but you do function under a program. And your thoughts, your attitudes, your behaviors, your responses, your perspective of life is programmed within you based on how it is that you grew up, right? Based on your trauma, based on your healing, based on your parents, based on your culture, based on your society, based on your education. It has all informed the way that you are today, right? That's the program that you function under. But what you're going to start to notice is that these programs are breaking really quickly. Like things that used to run on autopilot, it's like error, beep, 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 error, right? Like it's just like crashing down. There's like this error that's happening in your thought process. There's an error in your behaviors and your attitudes. And you're just like, I just can't do that anymore. And the things that used to feel very natural and normal, you're like, I can't believe I used to do that. And the things that you thought were, so far out there, you're just like, my perspectives are changing. And what you're going to notice is that algorithms are things that are a living situation. It's like a living program. It's not like, oh, this is the algorithm and this is how you function and this is what it is. It's a learning machine. And what algorithms do is that it changes its behavior based on what it learns. So you as a person and us in life and us as a human species, we're actually evolving very quickly and very rapidly right now. And of course, there's always a shift happening because if we're an algorithm and things are always evolving, so it's not like things are always evolving. So it's not like, oh, only, every 20 years we evolve, or every 50 years, or every 500 or 5,000 years we evolve. It's a consistent and constant evolution. But the things that are happening right now are very, very quick and very sudden. It feels like a jarring experience to your body. And so what happens when life's algorithm is changing is that you're going to start to feel like your entire perspective of the world changes as well, especially if you're somebody who is adjacently in social justice work, or if you're in liberation work, or if you're somebody who is in the healing arts, who works with people's emotions. You're going to start to see that a lot of the ways that people used to think is going to shift very quickly, if you haven't already noticed that in the last 10, 15 years. And you're also going to start to notice that there's a lot of confusion that people are going to start to experience based on these shifts. Okay, so there's like two parties that kind of like that are there. People who are like, yes, we know there's a shift and we are in the forefront of allowing this algorithm to evolve with us. Or you're over here, you're just like, malfunction. I don't know what to do. Everything feels big and scary. And it's okay, like whichever party you fall under, or like whichever, even if you're in like the middle of the spectrum, like that's totally fine. But the reason I wanted to come here and like have this conversation with you around life's algorithm is changing is that it's going to require you to erase and delete some programming that is just not appropriate for where the collective energy is going. Okay. So you are going to start to notice that you're breaking up with a lot of different things that you used to think, you used to feel, you used to do that just don't serve what it is that we are creating as a human species. Okay. And we're not going to say that everybody's creating like the proper thing or like the right thing. We're saying that we have a role to play in what is being created. So all the different things that you bypass, you're going to start to notice that it's going to bite you in the ass. All the things that you used to, avoid and evade because they were not high vibe, you're going to have to start to build resiliency in your nervous system to deal with some of that discomfort. All the different ways that we as a collective co-support each other in each other's healing and each other's humanity, you're going to start to notice that there's a little bit more of a advanced program that's going to come and initiate within you. And I've been talking about this for the last couple of years, whether you listen to me on my podcast, on the Playground podcast, or maybe you're catching this on YouTube. I've been talking to you about these like new codes that are initiated, right? And sometimes we take codes as like a very individual personal thing. It's like, oh, my new code is like, oh, I want to go study this thing, or I want to go do this thing, or I want to, create art, or I want to have this business. But this is where we take a step back and start to say, like, how does the code that you've been initiating, activating, and really allowing to surface or resurface for you contribute to the bigger picture, to the higher vision, to the greater good of humans, like the greater good of the universe, right? And of course, like, we're not responsible for every single thing in the universe, but of course we do play a role in liberation. We do play a role in social justice work. We do play a role in healing. We do play a role in taking care of each other as people, and to see each other as people who are living life in this existence that has so many challenges and so many, weird things that are going on, right? Like, there's so many different things. And what is our part in allowing people to just have a more peaceful existence? And this upgrade, this algorithm change, not everybody knows how to initiate this algorithm change. They don't know what to do with it. There's a little bit of learning curve where it's like, oh no, I'm stepping into my role as a healer, or I'm stepping into my role as a therapist, or I'm stepping into my role as a space holder, or somebody who is going to create art, or going to be a journalist, or work on communication, or I'm going to be a scholar, or I'm going to, right? All of us have different codes that we've initiated, but they're not for a different thing. It's for liberation, right? Like, our codes that have activated is a liberator code. Now, when this life's code, you start to notice this algorithm is shifting and changing, there is a panic that happens in your body, because you might be doing something that is just like a really safe thing, right? Like, and it's nice and comfortable to your nervous system to continue to do a safe thing. And for some people, it's like, yeah, you should remain there because like you worked your way up to this safety, and like anything else is just like a complete like disorientation to you. But there are those who are really in the space to do more with the codes that they've been given, right? The more to do more with the codes that have been activated and initiated. And so this means that what are you going to do to allow this algorithm to expand within you and within your collective, within your community? So all the people that are around you that are also initiating these codes, like, how are you going to say like, hey, did you get that code? Like, what do we do with that? Have that conversation. Okay. Then when you have the conversation, take an action. And when you take that action, amplify and share and educate and really like allow that algorithm to change and shift with you. And so I started this conversation by saying like, ooh, the algorithm is like this internet thing, but it's kind of like, it is an internet thing, but you are part of the internet. Like, you are part of that narrative. You are in that responsibility of growing the way that we behave on the internet, the way that we share on the internet, the way that we create on the internet, the way that we do anything on the internet. The way that you participate is a part of how the algorithm learns, right? Like, the way that you're responding and the way that you're interacting with the algorithm is the way that the algorithm learns. So now if you're just like, I'm not going to do what the algorithm says to me, I'm in the creator component of the algorithm, meaning that what I do and what I think and what I say and what I create supports and contributes in the way that this algorithm begins to learn, the way that this algorithm begins to share with other people, the way that the algorithm begins to distribute the information, the frequency, the vibes to other people. That's your role there, right? And so all of us are all of us are on our own high horses, right? Like, we think like this is the thing and da 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 da. But come back to basics. Life's algorithm is about humanity. It's about collective consciousness. It's about your heart space. It's about love, right? And so when we complicated the world with like, capitalism and imperialism and colonization and this thing and that thing, and we have evil and this and that, like, there's so many different things that are true, like all of those things do exist, but what's your contribution to that, right? Like, bypassing is contribution to an algorithm that's inappropriately growing, and to face your own discomforts and being able to approach certain topics that feel uncomfortable, or to approach certain things in your life that you've been evading, or to approach your healing in a certain way, is that contribution. Even if it feels like so small and tiny and itty bitty, it is that big contribution that allows us to be in this ongoing machine learning process. Okay. So friends, let me know what you think about your life's algorithm changing. And just remember, the world is your playground. And until next time, I will catch you soon.